Hey guys, this is Formuka with the daily deals of the 5th day of the Steam Autumn Sale, December the 1st. And the first game up is The Wolf Among Us, 33% off, which takes it down to €15.40, $16.74 or £12.72. And this is another brand new game from Telltale Games. Just like The Walking Dead, the most of the game is actually about talking about your decisions in this new world based on another comic book series. This time around is the comics Fables series. I've never heard of them, never read them, but apparently it's pretty successful, and actually the game is so good that it is considered canon for the series based on the Wikipedia article I've read. And you are this sheriff who is a werewolf actually, and he's trying to figure out why is there so much weird stuff happening in his town. And well, on top of that he is a werewolf and there is a lot of other magical beings around. The game sounds great, I have to admit. Again, it's episodic, just like Walking Dead, so you right now will get only the first chapter, but there is 4 more on the way. Later down the line, I'm guessing by the next year it should be finished, where you are paying for all of this upfront, and you will receive slowly all the chapters as the game is developed, because it's not finished yet. It's not like they are keeping this under wraps. I think, well, 33% off isn't looking that great, but this is a brand new game. It wasn't that expensive to begin with, and Telltale Games have like a spotless record, like all of their games, even the recent ones, no, not the recent ones, the older ones, like the new games from the series of Monkey Island, for example, or even Back to the Future. All of them are just great adventure games, so if you enjoy them, you can pick up this series safely as well. And the next game up is Metro Last Light, 66% off, which takes it down to €10.19, $13.59 or £8.49. And this is a first-person shooter set in a post-apocalyptic world, and it's a fantastic shooter. The atmosphere, the graphic style, the graphics are just one of the best you can find in any first-person action game. And the atmosphere of being underground in the metro under Moscow, because the world above you is dead and nobody can survive up there without a breathing mask, it just weighs on you. And the quests and the storyline is based around this. Basically, the world has been destroyed and you are trying to survive. And yeah, it's the second game of the series, the first one being the Metro 2033, so it's a year later. And that game is actually on sale as well, and it's for like €2 or €3, so you can pick up that game as well, because it still looks great and plays great, and this one is even better. So for this price, yeah, it's a grab. If you like first-person shooters, if you like post-apocalyptic worlds, pick it up. And the next game up is Payday II, 55% off, which takes it down to €13.49, $13.49 or £11.24. And this is a first-person bank robbery simulator, I would say. If you have seen the movie Heat with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino and Val Kilmer and a bunch of other well-known actors, which is a fantastic movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it already, do it. It's pretty long, so just be careful about that, but other than that, just do it. And there is a scene with the bank robbery by the end of the movie, where basically they are discovered and they have to fight their way through. So this is basically how the Payday series of games works as well. So you are robbing a bank and then you are shooting your way through the policemen. I had a big issue with the first game, which is also on sale, much cheaper than this one, I think about €3 is the price right now. And the problem was the clown cars. The policemen just never stop coming if you don't progress far enough. And you are just constantly running out of ammunition, and it's infuriating and annoying and unnecessary. It has been toned down a little bit in Payday 2, so it may be manageable. Like if you have a good group of people, but it's still annoying. You are constantly out of ammo, and well, so boring. Later, you are just in the cover, and cops that are constantly respawning are shooting at you from all directions. And well, the Payday 2 should be better in this respect. It's a pretty new game, fantastic graphic style of course, a great atmosphere as well, pretty good atmosphere of the bank robberies and all the other heists you are trying to pull off, so well, pretty good deal for this new game. If you like the idea, pick it up. And the next game up is Torchlight 2, 75% off, which takes it down to €4.74, $4.99 or £3.74. This is a Diablo-style isometric RPG, action RPG at that, very much action RPG. So you are just slaughtering, just like in Diablo, hundreds and thousands and maybe tens of thousands of minions of various bad guys. And that's basically the game in a nutshell. You have your mana, you have your health pool, you have your skills and skill trees. And yeah, it keeps a little bit more of the feeling of the Diablo 2, which actually makes it better than Diablo 3 in my eyes, because Diablo 3 was just weird and I don't know. I've played it through and through, of course, but I enjoyed Torchlight 2 much better. Torchlight 1 is also on sale, as you can see. It's a little bit cheaper, but beware, Torchlight 1 does not support the co-op mode, which made Torchlight 2 basically just a fantastic game out of a great game. So I would even consider picking up the 4-pack for your friends to play with you as well, because a solo isn't as much fun as in co-op with friends. And the next game up is Portal 2, 75% off, which takes it now to €3.74, $4.99 or £3.74. And Portal is a series of first-person puzzle games. You are using your portal gun to set up your portals and move through them to solve the puzzle in front of you. And that's the game in a nutshell. Well, it doesn't have to be you. You can move something else through them, like the liquids, which is a new thing in Portal 2. And it's fantastic atmosphere. The perfect NPCs, hilarious NPCs you will find, and even the puzzles themselves that make this game just so great. And if it wasn't enough, they just thrown in an extra mode, the co-op mode, which is a completely separate story from the main one for you and your one of your friends to play through, and that's another kind of fun, another kind of brilliant fun. So just pick it up. I would suggest you pick up the 2-pack so you can play with your friends. Maybe even the Portal bundle, because the first Portal is just great as well. And the next game up is Godus, 50% off, which takes it down to €9.49, $9.99 or £7.49. And Godus is a god-like game where you are playing a god in Godus and you are taking care of your people which are worshipping you, and you are trying to mold the terrain so they can use it much better than they did before. And well, that's kind of part of the problem, because the way you are molding the terrain is like clicking or dragging slowly, and there is a lot of clicking as well. With the power you have to collect, you have to click individual houses. Yeah, there is a cute melody it sounds when you are doing it, but it doesn't change the fact that it's just bringing the carpal tunnel syndrome that much sooner to you. Yeah, you can build these statues that you collected from the surrounding buildings, but there will still be stuff that you have to click, and this tapping or clicking is, I don't know, it's reminiscent of games like Farmville a little bit, which in my book is a bad thing. The game is developed, of course, by the new studio by Peter Molyneux, and that guy, I don't know, he was a legend when the games were new with the Dungeon Keeper series and the Theme Hospital series and all that good stuff. But later, of course, with Populous and Black and White, but later he just, I don't know, he's just trying to do something new and it just doesn't work. Just like the later parts of the Fable series, for example. I don't feel like this game is worth it. It's early access, just remember that. So all of my experiences are kind of rough. So the game may improve 50% off for not yet released game. It's up to you. If you really enjoyed Populous back in the day, I would still go and grab Black and White somewhere in a bargain bin. It's much better game in my opinion. Certainly looking better. Next one up is Fast, 75% off, which takes it down to €2.49, $2.49 or £4.99. And this game is a puzzle platformer, pretty good one at that. You are working in this like 3D-ish world. You can like shift the way you are looking at 2D world, because the world is supposed to be a 2D world. You are kind of weird that you can shift the perspective like that, but there's a reason for that, because the supercube has been destroyed or broken apart, and you have to find all the little cubes and recreate it, which is the plot of this game. It is fantastic, cute graphic style, great gameplay as well. There is a lot of hidden stuff. You have really really figure out yourself, or of course you can check out the guides online. And yeah, fantastic game, originally released on consoles, but the port is pretty solid. It wasn't that solid when it was released, but most of the issues were fixed over time. There was also Fez 2 announced, but for some beef of the author it was cancelled. I'm not really sure about that. Apparently that author of Fez, which is a cute and fantastic game, is kind of a D-bag, I guess, and he can't take critique. I'm not really sure about that, but like kicking a fantastic series out of the window just because you are pissed, like that's not a good reason for that, really. And that's the Super Cube. For this price, pick it up. Like, this is a no-brainer. Fantastic game. Great game, one of the best ones of today's daily deals. Next one up is Sid Meier's Civilization 5, 75% off, which takes it down to €7.49, $7.49 or £4.99. And this is of course a series of grand strategy games. One of the first ones of actually, because, well, the Civilization 1 is so old. I remember playing it on my grayscale monitor and it was so much fun. And actually, like, compared it to Civilization 5, the gameplay hasn't changed that much. Like, there was almost all the stuff you can find in Civilization 5 all the way back in Civilization 1, but that's not actually that bad of a thing. There is still that issue that it's a little bit easier, a little bit cookie cutter than Civilization 4, which is, I guess, still considered the best of the series. But the recent DLC, like the Brave New World, like the Gods and Kings, really brought the game up to snuff, and it's right now fantastic grand strategy game. And you can even pick up the Gold Edition, which includes Gods and Kings. So if you want Gods and Kings, don't buy them separately, buy the Gold Edition, which includes them. Sadly, it doesn't include Brave New World yet. I guess there will be a re-edition which includes it as well, so you have to pick it up separately, but it's a pretty good deal, one of the best ones. I've seen it on, at least on Steam, so yeah, that's a pretty good deal as well. So if you like grand strategy games, you most likely have already Civilization 5, but if you don't have it, pick it up. Great price. And the last game up is Far Cry 3, 75% off, which takes it down to €7.49, $7.49 or £4.99. And this is a first-person jungle shooter. You are a teenager who has to fight for his life because he was just having fun with his friends on a tropical island, and then some violent douchebags, like piratey douchebags, have dragged him in the cage, and he basically has to escape and kick their asses, all of them, kill them all. Hundreds of people will die under the sights of your guns, and that's a good thing because they are mostly just violent, insane madman. The game has pretty good game mechanics. The visuals are just beautiful, even though it's a year old. It's one of the best still looking first-person action games, and the storyline is kind of weird, but at the same time excellent. And especially the NPCs you will find along your road are really great. Especially Vaz. Vaz Montenegro is like one of the best NPCs ever created. It isn't just the villains, like, at all, like even the good guys. Vaz is just perfect piece of guy you have to just hate, but in secret you just laugh about his antics, the way he just mercilessly slaughters the people without even blinking, like, or his point of view on the world itself. It's some kind of hilarity to it, while he's still a mass murderer, of course. I'm not sure how this even works, but it does. And I think most of it is down to the way the role has been written and to the actor, which actually has a live action series on YouTube you should really check out. I will try and put an annotation to it because it's hilarious. It's great. The game is fantastic shooter. The mechanics of the shooting, the mechanics of the world, which is open world, work excellent as well. Even without Vaz, the game would be a blast. But right now it's just fantastic, and you should pick it up. So these are the 9 games of the latest daily deals. I have a really hard time recommending just a few, because Fez, this is a fantastic puzzle game. Civilization 5, a fantastic grand strategy game. Far Cry 3 and Metro Last Light are fantastic first-person shooter. The Wolf Among Us is a great adventure game, and the Torchlight 2 is just the best action RPG out there. I'm not really... And Portal 2, of course. Portal 2 is maybe one of the best games ever released. And this is a fantastic, again, first-person puzzle game this time. Like, the Godus and Payday 2 are the only 2 games I would give a pass, honestly. So it's really up to you. Thankfully, they are all different genres, so if you like any particular genre, just pick up the game and run like hell, install it and play it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe and leave a comment down below. Until next time, bye bye.